Welcome, tech enthusiasts and future AI moguls. You're listening to Mapping the AI Frontier, where we turn the complex world of GenAI startups into bite-sized, digestible chunks. I'm your host, Mark, the guy who once tried to teach his toaster AI and ended up with burnt toast that could recite Shakespeare.
And I'm Tom, the co-host, who's still trying to figure out if his smart fridge is plotting world domination or just really passionate about keeping the milk fresh.
Today, we're diving into the thrilling world of market gaps in GenAI. It's like playing Where's Waldo? But instead of finding a guy in a striped shirt, we're hunting for billion-dollar opportunities. So grab your metaphorical magnifying glasses, folks, because we're about to embark on a journey through the Wardley Map jungle. All right, Tom, let's break down this market gap analysis into three key areas. It's like the three musketeers of the startup world, but instead of all for one and one for all, it's all for profit and profit for all.
Oh, I love a good literary reference in the morning. So, what's our first musketeer, Mark?
First up, we have identifying underserved needs. It's like being a detective for customer dissatisfaction. You're looking for those white spaces on your Wardley Map, which are basically the AI equivalent of finding an empty parking spot in downtown New York.
Ah, the elusive white space. I once found one of those in my fridge. Turned out it was just expired yogurt. But in the GenAI world, it's where the magic happens, right?
Exactly, and speaking of magic, here's a gem from a seasoned AI venture capitalist. The most successful GenAI startups are those that can identify and address the pain points that established players have overlooked or deemed too niche to pursue. It's like finding the Harry Potter of problems, the chosen one that big companies ignored.
So, we're basically telling our listeners to put on their Sherlock Holmes deerstalker and start investigating customer complaints, user workarounds, and industry expert gossip?
Precisely. It's all about uncovering those juicy unmet needs. Now let's move on to our second musketeer, spotting technological gaps.
Ah, the tech gap. It's like finding the missing link between a flip phone and a smartphone. What's our strategy here, Mark?
Well, Tom, it's all about looking at your Wardley Map and finding those areas where there are big leaps between the maturity levels of different components. It's like spotting a giraffe in a field of sheep. Something's clearly out of place.
I'm picturing a Wardley map with little sheep icons now. But seriously, can you give us an example?
Sure thing. Imagine you notice that natural language processing is super advanced, but there's a lack of solutions combining it with domain-specific knowledge in certain industries. That's your tech gap right there.
So it's like having a brilliant translator who knows nothing about rocket science trying to translate a NASA manual?
Exactly. And here's a nugget from a prominent AI researcher. The most impactful innovations in GenAI often come from bridging the gap between academic breakthroughs and real-world applications. It's like being the matchmaker between the nerdy professor and the street-smart entrepreneur.
I smell a rom-com in the making. Now, what about our third musketeer?
Ah, the final piece of our gap-tastic puzzle, recognizing emerging market shifts. This is where your Wardley Map becomes a crystal ball, showing you the future of GenAI.
Ooh, do I need to wear a turban and wave my hands mysteriously over the map?
Only if you want to, Tom. But what you really need to do is look for components that are moving faster than a caffeinated cheetah along the evolution axis, or clusters of activity forming like teenagers at a K-pop concert.
So, we're basically looking for the next big thing before it becomes the next big thing?
Bingo. For instance, you might notice increased buzz around privacy-preserving AI techniques. That could be your cue to develop the Fort Knox of GenAI solutions.
Ah, the sweet spot where paranoia meets innovation. I love it.
Now let's take a closer look at our Wardley Map for this episode. It's like a pirate's treasure map, but instead of X marking the spot, we have evolving components and value chains.
Matey. So, what booty do you see on this here map?
Well, me hearty, our map shows that while general-purpose GenAI solutions are sailing into mature waters, there be golden opportunities in specialized areas and integration across the value chain.
Shiver me timbers. Any specific treasures ye spot?
Aye, the map be pointing to two main chests of gold: privacy-preserving AI and domain-specific knowledge integration. It's like finding a way to keep your treasure secret while also knowing exactly where to bury it.
Sounds like we need both a locksmith and a cartographer for this adventure.
Right you are, Tom. And here's the real treasure map secret. Startups need to keep one eye on these opportunities and the other on the horizon. The GenAI seas be changing faster than a chameleon in a disco.
So, we're telling our listeners to be part pirate, part ninja, and part fortune teller?
Exactly. And don't forget to add a dash of mad scientist to that mix. After all, we're talking about generative AI here. Well, folks, we've navigated the treacherous waters of market gap analysis in GenAI. Remember, it's all about identifying underserved needs, spotting tech gaps, and recognizing market shifts faster than a quantum computer can say, "Hello, world."
And don't forget the wise words of that GenAI startup founder. In this field, your ability to rapidly identify and act on market gaps is often the difference between leading the pack and playing catch-up. So, put on your running shoes and get ready to sprint through that gap.
That's right. And remember, listeners, keep updating those Wardley maps like they're your favorite social media profile. You never know when the next big opportunity will pop up. Until next time, keep mapping, keep innovating, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Wait, wrong franchise. May the force of market gaps be with you.